It's time for Game Week 20 predictions. Happy New Year, everybody. 2025 beholds some great Premier League action. We're in Qatar, Thogdad's in London.
The big news is that Thogden has passed his driving test. Let's all give him a round of applause, and the streets of London will never be safe again. But anyway, the scores from last week: Thogdad 6 points, Thogden 7. The scores are on the doors.
So let's go through every game, kicking things off with
Tottenham Hotspur against Newcastle United is 11th against 5th, two of the big beasts of the Premier League.
Can you believe that the favourite is actually Newcastle? Spurs have got 2.88 odds to win, whilst the Magpies come in with 2.25. That's crazy. Given the start of the season, I wouldn't even thought that.
But Spurs dropped into the bottom half, 1 point in 3 games, and they're scoring goals. The problem is most of their defence is injured. And
after Spurs drew 2-2 to Wolves at home, Ange actually said that he had to play an unfit Dragosin off the bench when Udogie came off injured.
Now, playing a Newcastle team, second best form in the league, they've won the last 4 games.
They're 4 straight wins, 10-0 for the first time since 2012. But that's going to be hard to maintain without Fabian Schär, who's suspended. But so is Rodrigo Bentancur, who scored against Wolves. So both teams have key men missing.
I'm going 2-1 to the Geordies.
Spurs 1, Newcastle 2. And now that Isak has hit 50 Premier League contributions, wouldn't surprise me if he scores.
Bournemouth against Everton, 7th against 16th. Two teams separated by a massive 13 points. Now, Bournemouth having a good stretch, 7 games without defeat.
The Cherries seem to be the late goal specialists. Utara was the last man to do it. They've now scored, I believe, 10 goals after the 85th minute. That's more than any other team in the Premier League. Well done, Iraola.
But drawing last week, that put them below Manchester City, and that has to hurt. Everton, meanwhile, had a good run, and then they lost out to Forest. And the problem with them is not defensively, it is scoring goals.
In the calendar year of 2024, they only scored 31 league goals. That's embarrassing. In fact, it's a Premier League record low. They've not won at Vitality in 7 head-to-head attempts. I can only back the home team.
And I think this is going to be low scoring, 1-0 to Bournemouth.
Will it be Sinistera again with late scenes? I don't know, but I still think the Cherries have got this 2-1.
Aston Villa against Leicester City is 9th against 19th, a tasty Midlands derby to start 2025.
This could go either way, and that's probably fair to say because Aston Villa have hot and cold form. They go from beating City to losing to Forest. Every week it changes with Unai Emery. His New Year's resolution has to be to concede less goals. Funnily enough, at Villa Park, the half-time result has become the full-time result, 6 in the last 7 games.
And they're playing a Leicester team who've got 1 point in the last 5 games. That is Southampton form. They are creating chances. We saw that against Man City, but they're just not taking them.
They started well with Van Nistelrooy, but the last 4 matches have all been defeats with the opposition scoring 2+ goals. If that happens 5 in a row, it'll be the first time since 2003.
I'm just going to go Villa 3, Leicester 1.
Villa are just a better team, and the Premier League table speaks for itself. 3-1 win.
Crystal Palace against Chelsea now is 15th against 4th, and an intriguing London derby. Now,
given form, Palace are back to their best and will be confident coming into this game. They've only lost twice in their last 11 games.
3 points against Southampton, and a lovely strike from Eza for the winner.
But this fixture has tormented the Eagles. They only last won it in 2017, which doesn't sound that good given it's been a lot of fixtures.
Chelsea, meanwhile, went to Portman Road, 20 shots, but none of them went in. A shock defeat to Ipswich Town.
Well, Maresca said he expected this time to come. 3 very poor results, probably putting them out talk of title hopes definitely for a few weeks unless they go on a magnificent run of games. And I'm not sure it starts here because they'll be low on confidence. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
Chelsea, they're better on the road and they're going to win this one 2-1. Southampton against Brentford is 20th against 12th, and the first half of Southampton's season was horrible. 6 points and only 12 goals.
Juric will be praying for anything in this fixture. I'm sorry, it's going so wrong for the Saints. And when you play Brentford at home, it's the one game in a whole calendar year that you have to pick up something. I mean, they're the only team that haven't won away from home, well, apart from Southampton. But Tyler Dibbling, Dad, he is that diamond in the rough. He's now scored again. 2 goals to his tally. He'll want to keep scoring because if the Saints do go down, he could be that fund of cash that they need.
But they're playing a Brentford team, which is terrible away from home. Only 2 points away from home all season and 6 goals scored.
I'm just going to go with a 0-0 draw here. I've got a weird feeling this is not your one that you want to watch.
I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Manchester City against West Ham United is 6th against 13th.
Yes, we are back to the Etihad, and finally, off the back of a win. It wasn't the most beautiful City performance ever, but a win and not conceding is great.
And Haaland got his goal.
But are they back to their best? Are the City fans wearing that hat? Make City great again? Well, I think they're going to beat West Ham because they look low on confidence. They just got battered 5-0 by Liverpool.
West Ham had no shots on target. They did hit the woodwork twice, and they need to put that out of their minds.
They also conceded more goals in 2024 than any other Premier League side, with a record high of 79.
This will be close, I think. Manchester City to win 2-1.
2-0 to Man City. Back-to-back 2-0 wins if they do it.
Brighton and Hove Albion against Arsenal is 10th against 2nd. Now, Brighton have not won a game in 7 Premier League encounters, but they've drawn 4 of the last 5, and it was Tariq Lamptey with an absolute screamer who won a point at Aston Villa.
Can you back Brighton anymore? That's the question on everybody's lips. Well, Hazard stays positive. He says he learns something with every single draw.
But they're playing an Arsenal team on form. Joint best defence in the league, won the last 3, and Gabriel Jesus is absolutely smashing it.
They're starting to win games now again, home and away. Saka's sidelined, but Martinelli's doing the business. You know, he's got 2 away goals in his last 2 games. Arteta, he isn't talking about a title race, but he's taking every game as it comes, and right now he's getting 3 points.
This is going to be Brighton 1, Arsenal 2.
But let's not ignore that Danny Welbeck could be returning here. He is the man who has scored 4 of his last 5 goals at home, and against his old club, be licking his lips. 1-2 to the Gunners.
Fulham against Ipswich Town is 8th against 18th. Fulham unbeaten in 5, although 4 of them were draws. A very difficult team to beat at the moment.
Marco Silva had a New Year's resolution. It's turned those draws into bloody wins. Let's put some respect on Anthony Robinson's name. He's got 7 Premier League assists this season so far. He's already being put up there with potential calls for team of the season. He's getting respect from the old Jamie Carragher. Clearly, people are starting to speak of him.
But they're playing Ipswich, who are fresh off that amazing victory over Chelsea, 24% possession.
And Ipswich have never beaten Fulham in their last 8 head-to-heads, which is a weird fact, but will not their confidence.
I'm going 2-1 to Fulham.
Well, I'm going to go for a Fulham home win. Just 1-0.
Liverpool against Manchester United now, 1st against 14th. This is a cracking Lancashire derby. It's one of the biggest games in world football. I used to love this as a kid.
Anfield, we've been to this fixture together with my dad where it's been 7-0 before, and it wasn't even formed like this.
And what can you say about Liverpool? They are 6 points ahead of Arsenal at the top of the table with a game in hand. They've won the last 3, and goals are coming from absolutely everywhere, although most of them involve Mo Salah in some respect.
He has got 21 goal contributions in the last 12 games. He's just flipped the numbers, hasn't he? That's him peaking at the age of 32.
And they're playing a Man United team who are broken. They are in a relegation fight. If they lose a few more games, they've lost the last 3, they could be dragged into the bottom 4 or 5.
If you're a United fan, it's pretty much guaranteed you're not going to win this game, but how many will it be? Will it be a close match? Will Amorim go fighting? Because right now he could be setting records for all the wrong reasons. If he goes 4 losses in a row without scoring, that'll be the first time since 1909.
On average, Liverpool score 2 goals at home each game. So I'm going to go Liverpool 2, Man United 0.
3-1, not a crazy result, but yeah, I can only see it going one way, I'm sorry.
And finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers against Nottingham Forest, 17th against 3rd. Another brilliant Midlands derby. Now, Wolves have pulled off the great escape. 7 points in the last 3 games. And it was Strand Larsen who got a late equaliser against Spurs. They are confident at the moment, and this could easily be an upset.
They beat United last time at home. They went away to Spurs and got a respectable 2-2 draw. They won the match before that. It just seems like you can go into any game now with faith.
But let's talk about Nottingham Forest. I'm sorry, but they are the team of the season.
They are top of the league on home form. They're really good away for some reason, and they won't have to travel far. And it seems like a lot of their players are getting Premier League Team of the Season shouts, rightly so.
They are defensively very, very strong. Only conceded 19 goals all season. They've won the last 5 games. I'm going to go Wolves 1, Forest 2.
Both teams are scoring in this game because it will be... I just don't see Wolves right now going goalless in 90 minutes. But I'm just going to respect home form. Molineux will be rocking. This is going to be a high-scoring draw, 2-2.
And that is it for Premier League predictions game week 20. A happy new year to all of you out there. And Theo, have a good time in Qatar, mate. And next time, invite your dad.
See you in a bit. Bye-bye.